disclaimer, I apologize for the way that I speak. I know I don't talk normal on camera, I just can't do it, so for now you're gonna have to deal with it. But this video, you can probably tell by the title, it's all about makeup brushes. I'm gonna talk about my top 9 most necessary makeup brushes that I think you guys need to know about and should get your hands on if you are interested in makeup. So I'm gonna do a quick little intro before I get into my top 8. To me, it doesn't matter what product you have, whether you have MAC, Bobbi Brown, or you have Makeup Revolution and Makeup Academy and all drugstore products. If you have the skills, it doesn't matter what products you use, you can get the same result. Again, it's the same with brushes. It doesn't matter if you have all of the MAC and Sigma brushes or you got all of your brushes from eBay, like me. But if you want the expensive brushes, then go for it. For me, I'd rather get lots of cheaper brushes because I'm still experimenting with stuff. So I'd rather have more of one thing. And the eBay brushes are also great for freelance makeup artists, which is kind of what I aspire to be, because if you're working on different clients every day, you're gonna need to wash your brushes between every client, and washing your brushes is gonna damage them. Now, if you get the MAC 224 and it gets damaged, like because of washing it so many times, you're gonna have to fork out like 20 pounds or however much it is to replace it. Whereas if you get the eBay brush, which is an exact dupe of it, which I'm going to talk about later, it's going to work exactly the same for you and it's much easier to replace. And I'm really sorry if you can hear that noise. It's because my camera is focusing. There is nothing I can do to stop it other than get a microphone. Without further ado, I will get into my top 9 makeup brushes, which I think are the most necessary for any beginner, any makeup artist, or anyone like wanting to follow any tutorials that I do. So we are gonna start out with the brush that is most necessary to me. It is my top brush I wouldn't be able to live without, and that is this big fluffy blending brush. It is from eBay. I assume it's an exact dupe. For the MAC 224, it seems exactly the same, but without the MAC symbol, and it even has the 224 numbering on it. Now, for me, this brush is perfect for working with transition shades, which go right here. They are usually 1 or 2 shades darker than your skin tone, and this will help blend out all of your eyeshadows and make it extremely seamless. So for me, this is definitely the most necessary brush. It is my all-time favorite. I have ordered some more of these because it's just like necessary for every makeup artist, every beginner, just every single person that wants to do good eye makeup, basically. I strongly advise that you get this and don't buy the MAC one because it's such a waste of money when you can get this for like, I think I got it for like 99p, and I will link the seller in the description box below so you guys can easily find this. Next up, I have a pencil brush. It is not very dense, but I don't know how to describe it. It looks like a little pencil. It is from Morphe, but there are loads of these on eBay, which I will link down below for you guys so you guys can get one. I wouldn't advise anyone from the UK to order from Morphe just due to my experience with it being an American company. But this brush is definitely perfect for adding darker colors into the crease, like here in this area through the socket of the eye in the outer corner. It's super precise so you can get into that small area without it being everywhere. It's definitely necessary, and it's also perfect for smoking out the lower lash line. I know I don't have anything on my lower lash line today, but it is perfect for getting in this area here. And if you don't want to use it for that, you can also highlight the brow bone with this in the inner corner, but personally I use it for the crease and lower lash line. So that is my second must-have. For my third must-have brush, it kind of links in with the brush that I just showed, the Precision pencil brush. It is this one right here. It is a smaller, more precise, fluffy brush. It is also used for blending. What I usually use this brush for is to blend out any color that I just applied with this, because if you just apply it with this, it's gonna leave like a harsh line. It's just gonna put the color there, and then so when you have put that color there, you are gonna want to blend that out. And if you can, realistically, you can just use this brush to blend it out, but for me, I prefer to use this because obviously it's much smaller. I'll show you the size difference. Yeah, so it's quite a bit smaller. So when you are blending the darker color out, you are able to keep it still in that same focused area where you placed it. If you use the bigger brush, it's gonna blend it out over a large area. It's gonna blend it out too far up. If you don't want to take the darker color too far up, this brush definitely helps you keep it in that focused area where you want to keep the darkness. Personally, I use this brush every day, and it's also great for blending out the lower lash line, because if I try to use this for the lower lash line, it's gonna be way too big. It's gonna like bring my eyeshadow like down here, and in the lower lash line you want to kind of keep it in like half a centimeter, like this far down. This one is also off of eBay, and I'm assuming again that it's a dupe for the MAC 222, but I haven't really heard anyone use this brush, so I'm not sure. Maybe you can get it at MAC, maybe not. Sorry if the lighting has changed, it's just got super dark outside, so my light is not as intense in here, and I am using the natural lighting, so it's gonna change with how the lighting changes outside. Now I just want to add in a little something that is not necessary. These flat shader brushes are not necessary. A lot of people use them to pack color onto the lid, but really you don't need these. If it's going to come with a makeup brush set, then great, you can use them, but you don't have to go out and buy these separately. I have hundreds of them. They come with everything. I barely ever use them. Instead of using those brushes, you can just use your finger to pack that color on, and it's gonna work just as great. Okay, so now it has started raining. So if you can hear the rain, ignore it, please. Oh, it's ruining my life. Now I have talked about the 3 necessary eye brushes, I'm gonna move on to my face brushes. I'm obviously gonna start out with a foundation brush because that is what you apply first. There are 2 different kinds of foundation brushes. It depends what you want. Personally, I prefer this one. This is a duo fiber stippling brush, and I bought it from Wilko's, and it is very flexible, and it is perfect for anyone that wants a more sheer coverage. You want to go in circular motions with this brush. You don't want to dab it. Well, you can dab it, I guess that's what it means, stippling, but I prefer to go in small circles all over the face, and it gives me a nice sheer coverage. Whereas if you want a more full coverage foundation, then what brush you use is gonna make a difference. So this is a Real Techniques brush. It's the Expert's face brush, and it is super dense. I really never like to use this to apply my foundation because it just makes it so full coverage and heavy on my face, and that's not what I like personally. If you like that on your face, then you go for it, you rock it, but for me that's not what I like. So if you want to use this brush and get a more full coverage, then you want to again go circular like patterns, or you can go in like downward strokes. Okay, I'm not going to touch my face because I already have makeup on, but like you don't want to go like this. You want to go, you don't want to go backward and forward because that's just going to move the product around too much. You want to blend out the product. You just want to like pull it outwards. For me, foundation is not so important. I guess foundation is important, but I don't know. In makeup, foundation doesn't mean that much to me. I can go out without it. Instead of using a foundation brush, a lot of the time I like to use a damp cosmetic sponge, like you have probably seen in my videos already. I'm not gonna get it because it's all the way over there, but you can find them in Superdrug. They are like the triangle wedge sponges. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Well, next is the under eye concealer brush for blending out your under eye concealer. Before I start talking about the brush, I'm going to tell you how else you can do your under eye concealer. You can totally like blend it out with your finger. I see a lot of people do that. If that's what you like, then do that. Or again, you can use the damp cosmetic sponge for blending out under eye concealer. But for me, I love to use this brush. So you probably recognize this brush. It is from Primark. When I first picked it up, I really wasn't sure about it. I just bought it like on a whim. Like, okay, if this brush doesn't work, then fine, whatever. But when I started using it, I started to love it. It is not extremely dense. And it's super soft, which means that when I blend out my concealer, it makes it super flawless. I use it every day. I don't know, it's just something about this brush. Like, if you don't like Primark, then I'm sorry, but this brush is a must. It is definitely worth the price. I think it was like £1.50, and it is super good quality. Like, it hasn't shed on me at all. Like, none of the little hairs have fallen out yet. It doesn't look very good, but it is great. I don't know why. It's just something about it. I haven't got any more brushes from Primark, but this I have gotten. I trust it. It's my friend, because I use like dabbing motions, or right under the eye, I use dabbing motion. That is for blending out the under eye concealer. And then, of course, you want to set your under eye concealer and you want to set your foundation. Personally, I don't set my foundation because it makes me look cakey, but I always do set my under eye concealer. For this, sorry, it's filthy, I use again this brush from Morphe. It is exactly the same as the Sigma small tapered face brush, I think that's what it's called. This is the M43A. You can find it on eBay, very similar ones, or you can use the Real Techniques under eye setting brush. I will insert a picture, which you can also find on eBay. But for me, I like to use this because it fits so perfectly under my eyeballs. And setting your under eye concealer is gonna stop it from creasing or moving. You would use this to set your entire face, but if you don't want to buy that extra brush, you can definitely just use this to set the rest of the face or just set your T-zone area to stop it from getting oily. Next is, again, I know I keep repeating important, but this is an important brush. Sorry that this video is so long, but we are on the 6th brush already out of 9, so we're just gonna keep going. This is a bronzer brush. I did buy this from Tenerife, but there are so many with this similar shape. It is just round that you can find on eBay. How I use it is just to tap it around my forehead area and apply bronzer there, or under my cheekbones I apply bronzer here. I just use rubbing motions for that, or circles sometimes to blend it upward. And that is all for the bronzer brush. It's pretty basic. Also, I forgot to mention that with the foundation brush and the concealer brush, you want it to have synthetic hairs. If you use a brush with like real animal fur, then all your foundation or concealer is just gonna get stuck right in the brush and it's gonna be useless, so you want to use a synthetic hair brush. So realistically, for blusher, you can use your bronzer brush, which is what I did in my prom face makeup tutorial. But it is nice to have good blusher brushes because blush is a very important stage to makeup. Not a lot of people think it is, but putting blusher on just really, you wouldn't believe it, but it does complete a look. You can use a standard brush like this, which just fits perfectly on the cheeks. You can find these on eBay. This is a BH Cosmetics one. Or, now I'm going to show you this brush. I don't know what happened to it. It went a little crazy. It was once upon a time flat. I don't know what happened to it. I guess it just broke. It again is a BH Cosmetics one. This is a duo fiber brush. It is my favorite brush, and I'm really sad that it broke because I loved it so much. It's perfect for applying blusher. 9 times out of 10 I use this brush for my blusher because it just blends it out really nicely compared to the ones with just all the same length bristles. I have ordered a similar one, so hopefully that will be just as good. We are finally on the last makeup brush, and it is, of course, for highlighting. You can't not put your makeup on without adding a highlight because it's just so sparkly and pretty. For highlighting, I use fan brush. It is very flimsy and pretty outish. Yeah, that's not a word, okay. But it is just perfect for highlighting down the bridge of your nose, on the tops of your cheekbones, on your forehead, brow bone, and like your chin. Okay, I think that is about it for this video. That is all I have to say today about brushes. Maybe in the future I will do a more advanced talk about brushes. But if you do have any questions or anything else you would like to know about brushes, or request for future videos of what you would like to see, then please request them in the comments below. I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. So if this video was helpful, please give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel.